Okay, exercise 750 says ecological researchers measured the concentration of red cells in the blood of 27 field-caught lizards. In addition, they examined each lizard for an infection by the malarial parasite Plasmodium. The red cell counts were reported in the table. And it says, we might expect that malaria would reduce the red cell count, and in fact previous research with another lizard species had shown an effect. Do the data support this expectation? Okay, assume the data is normally distributed. Test the null hypothesis of no difference against the alternative that infected populations have a lower red cell count. Okay, so our null hypothesis is that the red cell count, the average red cell count of the infected group is the same as the average red cell count of the non-infected group. Or in other words, mu1 minus mu2 is equal to 0. The alternative, we're expecting the infected group's red cell count to be lower than the non-infected group's red cell count. So in other words, mu1 minus mu2 is less than 0. Okay, and this is what we observed. The infected group, which is group 1, and this is the non-infected group, and here we have 12 infected lizards and 15 non-infected lizards. The average of our 12 infected lizards is 972.1, and the average of our non-infected group is 843.4. Standard deviation is 245.1 and 251.2. And we want to know, do we have evidence to support at alpha level to equal 0.05? Okay, so just taking a step back here, we're trying to see if we have evidence to show that the average of the infected group is lower than the non-infected group, okay? But the evidence we have actually shows just the opposite, that the infected group has a higher red cell count than the non-infected group, okay? So right off the bat, we know we're not going to have any evidence to show that mu1 is less than mu2. In fact, our y bar 1 is higher than our y bar 2. So we know right off from the fact is we have no evidence to support the alternative. So that means we do not reject our null hypothesis. Okay. Part B, we can change the alpha level to 10%. Okay, but still we have no evidence to support our alternative, so we're going to end up with the same conclusion. Do not reject the null hypothesis. Okay, so 750, just taking having a clear picture of what exactly we're trying to prove, and here we're trying to show that the infected group has a lower blood cell count than the non-infected group, but when we took our random samples, we saw that the infected group actually had a higher blood cell count than the non-infected group, so we're not going to have any evidence to support our original hypotheses, our original alternative hypothesis that group 1 is lower than group 2.